Hello, ladies, and welcome back to Menopause Made Easy with Tanya. I'm your host, health coach, nutrition, movement educator, doing tons of fun classes in my Vibrant Living Academy. If you have not joined us, I just have to ask you why. My goodness, we do improve your eyesight classes, improve your hearing classes, improve your gums. We do meditation Monday. We do weightlifting. We do build your bones. We do things for your heart. It is an all encompassing, fun physical movement workout, plus lots of nutrition and mindset coaching. So I don't know if you're not in there, please email me, chat with me, and let's make it work for you. It is so affordable for what you get. It is amazing. I'm also the founder of Vibrant Living, so you can check out my website, vibrantlivingwithtanya.com, and I offer the midlife reboot, and it'll start again in January. And I love helping women just like you feel more energetic, strong, and at home in their bodies, their mind, and their spirit through movement, nutrition, and mindset, especially during this powerful midlife transition and beyond. And this month of October, we have been focusing on mindset work, compassion. And last week, we talked about mind versus heart coherence. And I had mentioned defensiveness and resistance. And I thought I had talked about it, but I had not. So I'm going to put it in here because, like I mentioned to you, I have been working on writing episodes, and sometimes I think I've taped them and I haven't. So there you go. So here, I'm going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about defensiveness. And wow, my kids definitely. I always say that people are mirroring sometimes what you need to see and stop pointing fingers, turn it around and look at yourself. And I was like, wow, they're defensive. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my first reaction a lot of the time is defensiveness, to defend myself. And I'm going to tell you why we do that. All right. So whether we are sitting in a health coaching session and we're actually paying because we want to improve our lives, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, through movement, nutrition, and mindset work, whether we're talking to a friend or a family member, whether we're even scrolling on social media, there's a moment when someone suggests a change and you feel yourself bristle, and maybe you feel judged, and maybe your jaw clenches just a little bit, and maybe you think, what do you know about my life? How dare you? I'm putting up my defense mechanism here. Don't you dare tell me. So let's dig in. What is defensiveness really? We're going to talk about it. And then I have loved sitting here and comparing women. So we're going to go into two women. We're going to talk about what they're doing and how you can begin to lower the defensiveness within you, why we get defensive, which is so important, and how to work through this defensiveness. And then what can we start to do today? So that's what we're going to focus on. So, what is defensiveness really? Whew. Defensiveness is a protective reaction. And like I said, I have been working on my defensiveness for a long time. At first, didn't even know I was defensive. I didn't. I did not, because we are just so unconscious to so many things within us. Then my husband was always like, "You're so defensive." I'm like, "I'm not defensive." Well, I'm defending myself again. Then I would be talking to my kids and I could see them being defensive. And so I was like, what's going on? Right? And it's this protective reaction. It's our nervous system saying, whoa, I'm not safe. I need to protect myself. And it often shows up when we feel attacked, even if the intention is to help. Like I said, even when people pay me for help, they are still defensive because that is their nervous system protecting them. And when you understand this, it's liberating. Okay. We can feel defensive, or it shows up when we hear a suggestion that challenges our identity. I did an episode, I do know I taped that one. We did an episode on identity shifts. Like, you should try strength training when you've never seen yourself lifting weights ever before, right? Or you should eat meat when you vowed to yourself that you are not a meat eater. Just that identity. Or when we sense we're being judged for the way we eat, think, or live. But here's the truth: defensiveness isn't a flaw. It's a signal. It's your nervous system doing its job, but it can be completely irrational sometimes. The problem isn't having a defense response. It's when you're being owned by it and it becomes a reflex, right? And that you don't understand why you're being defensive, why it keeps showing up. And so we're going to get into that today. Let me introduce you to two women, Susan and Andrea. Susan is shut down and defensive. And Susan came to me struggling with low energy, joint pain, and brain fog. She wanted to feel vibrant again. And in our first session, I gently asked her about her nutrition, her sleep, her movement habits, because I like to do, I like to know, where are you right now? What's going on? And, after that, we're chatting, and I'm not there to tell you what to do. So I'm not like, you need to do this, this, and this. Okay. I'm more about, where are you? What do you want? What's the gap? What's the next simple shift to take? What can your nervous system handle? And we were talking about experimenting with reducing sugar and processed foods, and maybe trying some gentle movement, and really trying to dig into her this isn't all one session, but dig into her late night Netflix habit that she was eating. And during these statements over the course of our time together, but I'm thinking about our first session here, she crossed her arms and looked away and was like, well, I already know what to eat. I've done it all. Nothing works. And I don't have time for this. Okay. And that's her defensive, protecting herself, because she doesn't want, and I don't take anything away from anybody. I'm just going to be very clear. I do not take away any food. I actually work on the addition principle, which is much more inviting and less threatening. Okay. And Susan wasn't being rude. She was just being defensive. And I just recognized it as protection, because I see this over and over and over again. And Susan's nervous system was not ready for this. And so this is when, how I've talked about this in many episodes. You want to get to the top of the mountain and you think it's food and movement, but really the first step is mindset work and preparing your nervous system and understanding some of these skills that we were not taught to emotionally regulate ourselves before we can go on to sustainable changes. And what I see in the diet industry is quick fix strategies without doing some of this deeper work that's going to get you the sustainable shifts and habits that you want. Okay. So Susan, she had tried things before and failed, and she felt ashamed, and she felt fear of being judged, of not being good enough. So we needed to peel back. Okay, I like to say, peel back the layer of the onion and go in with grace and compassion and curiosity. So it's not always the doing of eat this, move this way. It's like, okay, where's this defensiveness coming from? What is your nervous system like? Okay, you've tried this before. How did it make you feel? Talking through shame. Did I do the episode on shame yet? I don't think I have. I've done one that's really amazing. Just go at the top and do shame. It's a really great episode. I think it's in the 50s. It was very early on, and I'm going to do another one coming up. I don't know when, but anyway. Okay, so I said to Susan, thank you for sharing that. I want you to know I'm not here to judge you or fix you. I'm not here to fix you or judge you. You're already doing a lot, and I am here to support you in exploring options when you are ready. So we took a step back, as I mentioned. We talked about why she felt triggered. I think I've done an episode on triggering. If not, it's coming up. And we opened that door. Do you see this, everybody? Do you see the power in this? I really hope you really feel the power in this. All right, now Andrea's story is aware and curious. Andrea, okay, on the other hand, has already been working on her nervous system for a while. She's been doing some breath work. She's been journaling. She's gone to some therapy, and she's coming to me for coaching to help with her, like just nutrition, movement, and mindset. All right. And so when we worked together and came up with a plan to suggest trying to cut back on her alcohol habit at night, her glasses of wine, so that she could improve her sleep and balance her hormones, she laughed and she said, oh my goodness, Tanya, I hear my inner voice saying, don't you dare take my wine away. But okay, I hear the defensiveness. I'm just going to be curious. Let's come up with some options. Let's talk about this. And she could witness her reaction without becoming her reaction. And she joked about it. And humor is always fantastic when we're dealing with defensiveness. Okay. And that awareness, that ability to pause and notice the reaction is everything. And this is what I spent years doing is at first I didn't realize I was being defensive, and then I was defensive and then realized, oh, I was just defensive. Okay, now how can I pause without being defensive and ask myself questions? This is a process. This is a process. And I definitely am still defensive, but not like I used to be at all. And wow, what a difference it's made. Okay, so uh, Karen or Andrea, I don't use real names of my clients, so I try and keep my names here, pretty standard. You've seen Susan's, Karen's, Andrea's a lot. Anyway, she tried it and was curious and gave herself like a time limit to really be intentional. And she started to track her sleep, and she felt a huge difference in her sleep. And then you get to decide what you'd like to do. And that's the power of understanding this nervous system awareness. All right. And so why do we get defensive? Let's break it down so we know why we get defensive. And then we're going to talk about how to work through this defensiveness. And it's not about intelligence. It is a knee-jerk reaction, and it's about safety. When someone suggests a change, it can feel like a personal attack, like we're doing something wrong, or worse, we are wrong. And that's where shame comes in. Instead of thinking you're doing something wrong, you say, I am bad. I am doing this wrong. No. Okay. So, and it's not about being smart or strong. It's about your nervous system. If your body does not feel safe, it will shut down and fight back. And wow, when you step back and you watch people, this is fascinating. How many of us have dysregulated nervous systems? Some of us more than others. This is part of healing. This is part of your journey. Okay, and this is especially true as we go through this midlife reboot. This is why I have a midlife reboot program, okay? Because we're already dealing with these hormonal shifts, these identity changes, fatigue, informational overwhelm. And this again can go on in your 60s and 70s and 80s. Okay, so I work with a lot of older women who now have the time and the space to want to heal at this deeper level. We're more sensitive, not less. And so any suggestion can feel like pressure or shame. All right. So again, we know what defensiveness is. It is protecting us. It is keeping us safe. How do we work through defensiveness? We do a simple pause practice. So again, this is part of my PBA technique, right? And this is what I share with my clients, but we actually do the work. Remember, information without action is not going to help you. You have to do this. So notice your reaction. Notice the tension in your body, sharp words forming, okay? That's your cue. So tension, and then you want to start firing out words. And what you want to do instead is, I'm feeling defensive. That's interesting. Okay. I'm feeling defensive. That's interesting. Name it. Don't shame it. I want to be defensive, or I was just defensive, or I'm noticing that my body is preparing to defend. All right. So wherever you are on that stage, breathe. You want a nice slow exhale. Slowly exhaling activates our parasympathetic nervous system. Long, gentle, even a sigh. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Oh. This tells your nervous system we're okay. We're not under attack. You can also add a butterfly massage because, again, I don't know if I've talked about this on my podcast, but I think maybe I did in my nervous system episode. But when you are rubbing your arms like this, going up and down your arms, it sends a message to your brain and it says, oh, how can I be running from a tiger and have time to self-soothe? I must be okay. All right. So that just says we're okay. We're not under attack. And then you're going to ask yourself, what am I protecting right now? Am I feeling judged, unsafe, ashamed, unseen, not heard? Compassionately ask yourself, what does this part of myself need right now? And this is shifting you into curiosity. And instead of what Susan said, I already know this. Okay, try. What if I just explore this as an option? What's one small experiment I could try? And that's how we grow, not by force, which I did for decades. And I still see people doing this, and that's okay. We're all on different parts of our journey, but have curiosity and compassion. What can you do today? Let's wrap this up with 3 simple takeaways. Defensiveness isn't bad, it's a doorway. It tells you where healing or safety is needed. Your nervous system is your best guide. If something feels threatening, pause, breathe, and then choose your response. And I just want you to even notice this, like if you are walking and you see a stick and you think it's a snake first before you see it's a stick, just notice how this nervous system is working to protect you. So we are always scanning our environment. Anyway, let me get back to my points here. You don't have to change anything, okay? Don't change everything at once, which is this all or nothing people get into. Just be curious. Small experiments lead to big shifts. So as we go into November, am I doing this yeah, this is the last week of October. As we go into November, oh my gosh, practicing this would be amazing because then we're going to go into December, and a lot of times lots of things unravel, but they don't have to create your new reality. Then we get into this whole, oh, I might as well just wait till January. Okay, no, let's practice these three simple things about defensiveness and nervous system and doing small experiments so that you can set yourself up for success, long-term, sustainable shifts. Whether you are Susan, just starting this journey and feeling a bit raw, okay, it can be very raw, or you're Andrea, which is laughing, who is laughing at her inner defender, but still showing up. You're in the right place. We all have to start from somewhere, okay? It's never too late. You're never too old. And we don't want to feel shame. We want to explore. We want to stay open. We want to stay curious. We want to try things gently. And so that is your homework for now and this month coming up. Please, if today's episode landed with you, it's absolutely zero cost to you to share this with a friend. I guarantee this will help in their transformation. This will make them feel better. Or a family member. Please leave a review. It takes but a few minutes to do that. And if you don't have the time, if you can subscribe or like my podcast, give it a 5-star rating. I would deeply appreciate that. It helps other women find this, and I know my messages are powerful. They have transformed my life and they've helped my clients tremendously, and I know they've helped my listeners. So please find it in your heart to share this episode with somebody, like it, leave a 5-star review, or I already said review, subscribe. There you go. Okay, and if you're ready to gently explore some movement, nutrition, and mindset in a way that feels safe and doable to you, we have so much fun. I'm not kidding. In my Vibrant Living Academy, which is open, okay? Or you can book a call with me and be like, Tanya, what's my next best step? And so we do a free call just to start, okay? No obligation to see what your next step is. Maybe you come into my academy, maybe you sign up for my reboot, which will start in January, and just take that next tiny shift. I will be here for you. I am here for you. This is my service to all of you. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Mwah.